Good morning, everyone. This is Chuck Graves again, reporting from Ramblings Magazine from my bedroom. Today's story is going to be a very short one, written by my mother actually, and I was struck when I read it the other day about the how it very quickly and very interestingly describes the change from the olden days to modern times. Like I say, it's short. It's from the view of a mother, and I hope you like it. The second thing I will read is a poem I wrote called "The Poet," and so here we go. The first one is called "Mom Talk." My talk today is about attention deficit disorder. I had it once. This is how it happened. When my children were small and it was bedtime, I tried to make it fun. I'd sometimes watch them brush their teeth and have fun with that. I'd read stories and poems and we'd talk about them. They would learn the poems, and one boy knew the whole story of Peter Rabbit word for word when he was 4 years old. One day when he was 9 or 10 years old, he came home crying and told us that when the other boys he was playing with went into another boy's house, that boy wouldn't let him come in. The television was turned on, and my son watched through the window until the boy pulled the shade. Well, when my husband heard the story, he got up and went out without saying a word. I didn't know where he was going or what he was going to do. Soon he came back with a new television. We didn't have one before. There, son, you won't have to look at television through a window again, he said. Now came the attention deficit disorder. The kids stopped wanting a story read or a talk about their grandparents' farm or singing school songs. They wanted to just watch the rest of this program first. I resented that TV. I was hurt. From then on, the TV ruled the family programs, and I was struck with ADD. Mom. So that's how things change from the olden days and the olden times to the modern times. And that's how it affected my mom. And now a poem I wrote called The Poet. I've never been a leader, nor been a follower too. I've been, I guess, the kind who does the things he likes to do. Yeah, I could be great sometimes, I think, but never got the chance. Or when it's there, I miss it due to some strange happenstance. I test out best on general things, not one specific field. I can converse with anyone, projecting knowing zeal. My tale is told for all the world, in hope that I can show it. These are the things God uses when he must create a poet. Okay, the next story from the... First of all, before we get to the next story, I did a horoscope one time and just made this all up. If you want to pause that and read your horoscope, you may, but just understand that it was just made up by me. Okay? The second thing I have is questions. I have questions. I've had these questions all my life. When it rains out and the sun is shining, you can see a rainbow. So when it snows out and the sun is shining, shouldn't you see a snowball? And here's another question. If you pull the wings off a fly, does it become a walk? I don't know. We know that 2 wrongs don't make a right, but what about 3 lefts? I don't know. Okay, the next story. Oh, here, I'll give you this too. I made up a crossword puzzle. If you want to try to do it, you're welcome to. The next story is a long one, and it's so long it might even take two videos to read through all of it. It's called The Death of the Attic. It was initiated by my cousin, and my sister added her 2 cents, and then my mother added hers. So it's quite a long article, and I will read it in, like I say, in 2 parts. Well, let me read the first part, because there's plenty of time left. So I'll read the first part, and then the responses to it the next time. It's called The Death of the Attic, and it's by my cousin, my sister, and my mom. Dear readers, following is 3 emails from our family BFN, Boring Family News. They are from my cousin, my sister, and my mom. Dear family, you've been very supportive and receptive to my ramblings and musings, if not somewhat electronically captive, and this story has been rumbling around in my mind for several months now and is yearning to get out, so here I go again. In my new job at the law office, one of my main jobs is doing estates through the probate court. One of the first estates I got to do was of an old man that never married and had no heirs of family. My boss was the executor of the estate, so it fell upon us to physically go to his house and inventory everything and get it ready to liquidate. Thus I was given this job, and took it gratefully, as I got to get out of the office and in the lovely spring weather and go through his house all by myself. As I began to go through this wonderful old 3-story, 1-family house, I began to get lots of feelings about what I was doing. I began to feel that no matter how emotionally challenging or sad or trying this job might be to a family member, I began to wish that it was being done by loving hands and minds with memories of all these possessions. There were many family treasures to behold: furniture, pictures, letters, vacation memorabilia, glassware, and just generations of family history to be enjoyed and treasured by someone. But it turned out that someone was me. This job took me the better part of a month, and the auctioneer was called in to appraise the estate. He approached it, rubbing his hands together at the valuable treasures that he was going to get a percentage of. And then the auction and the liquidation and the disbursement of all these treasures to buyers, with no appreciation of the family treasures that were now being divided among strangers, only that they might get a deal. My boss and co-workers picked on me in a very nice way about how possessive and protective I had become of these things. But as I went through that house day by day, I began to know that family and that man, although I had never met any of them, and I really wished that he had children, or at least some family member that would lovingly receive and cherish these things, and then pass them along to more family. While I do not really feel bad or morbid about this estate, I did become to feel that the death of the attic is a sad thing. Maybe the attic of the future lies in all of these storage units that are cropping up everywhere. We have for many reasons become a plastic, replace it, throw it away society. And I began to look at my things, and while change is good and necessary, I have decided to print a lot of my family mail that is newsy and fun and keep it in a notebook, since I am only, at best, an on and off again diarist, thinking maybe someday my kids will be interested in my attic book. Love, Linda. Well, that's the first of 3 articles on this, and I'll post the other two, the response from my sister and the response from my mother regarding the attic. So that's my uh, stories for today from Ramblings, and hope you liked it. Uh, please subscribe to the magazine if you would. Make any comments if you'd like, and hit the like button, please. Thank you very much. Chuck Graves from Ramblings Magazine. See you again tomorrow.